Hello and welcome to another DeNami Design YouTube video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a graduation card from start to finish. Here's the card that we're going to be creating today. And you can see here that it's just a really fun graduation card. I used the graduation owl along with some different border stamps that we carry and also one of our recent product spotlight stamps, which is the small congratulations. So let's get started on this card. For our card base, we're going to be using the PC49 lavender cardstock, and I've cut it down to 5 1/4, and then it's just the 8 1/2, and we are doing it upright. And we're going to be using our Rich Cocoa Memento ink, and we're going to be using one of the cling stamps for our border. So I'm just going to be inking this one up here. And this one is from the CLBD001 decorative border set. And this is the stamp here. And I'm just going to ink up this image. And I'm going to do it on the sides of the cardstock. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get a piece of celery cardstock. And this one measures 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. And then I've already pre-done this one here, which is a brown craft. It started out being a 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then once you do your scallop, it kind of comes down a little bit. So it's going to frame it like this. So I'm just going to ink up some polka dots, and we're going to do that in the background. I'm using this stamp here, which is the N136 medium polka dots. I'm going to be inking it up in the aloe vera versus the magic ink. This is just a really soft, chalky green color that looks great on this celery cardstock. So we're just going to ink up this whole thing. And then we're just going to line up the polka dots and keep going. Okay, so that's going to be our background. You can just see it's just a really soft polka dot background, and then we're going to adhere these together. So I'm going to get my ATG dispenser. Okay, so there's that. And then now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get a piece of lavender cardstock. This one measures 1 by 5 1/4, and we're going to be using the same border that we did on the purple cardstock earlier. And we're just going to stamp that right in the middle of this piece here. So there's that. We're going to set that aside, and now we're going to go for our focal point. So I have here just a die cut circle, and this one measures 2 3/4, and I just used a piece of white cardstock here. I'm going to be using the E128 graduation owl, and we're going to be using just the same ink here. So I'm going to stamp one owl in the middle, and then I'm going to do one on either side. Okay, so there's the owls. And then now we're going to just quickly color these owls in. And I'm going to use some Copic markers. I'm just using the E31 and the V01. And I'm just going to do the graduation caps and the diplomas in the purple, which will bring together the purple cardstock we used earlier. Okay, then we're going to do the owl, and we're just going to outline, do the little beak. And then you can do the middle. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get our last piece of cardstock here. This one measures 5/8 by 5.5, and I am going to use my scoring tool here. This one's the Martha Stewart one. And I'm just going to get and I'm going to do it at 7/8, and then I'm going to do it at 1 3/8. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. Okay. And then we're just going to fold these in. Okay, and then we're going to cut the little indentations here, and that's just going to make it the little tag. Okay, and then now I'm just going to lay this flat, and we're going to stamp the small congratulations, which is the F149, and I'm going to use the same brown ink. So for this card you only need 2 inks, and then I'm just going to stamp that in the center. Okay, perfect. And then now we can start putting our card together. So I'm going to get my lavender cardstock that we started out with, and let me actually just do it here so you can see a clean background. Okay, so here's our lavender, and then we have this one here, so I'm going to add my adhesive. And then I'm going to do it off to the side just a little bit, so I'm going to be covering these dots on this left side. Okay, then we're going to add the lavender cardstock to the middle of this celery piece. And then we're going to add now some foam mounting tape to this graduation owl. Adding to the 4 different corners and then in the middle. Okay, and then now we're going to get our sentiment. And for this one we're going to fold in these tabs here. And I'm going to do it on this side and this side, and then in the middle I'm going to do 2 of them so it's double stacked. And then I'm just going to do it right underneath the owls. So you can still see part of the circle here. And then we're just going to center it as much as we can and then push them down so the sentiment stays down. So there you have it. Here's our quick and simple graduation card. I just really loved this color scheme. It's nice and fresh. It's perfect for the spring, and it's great for whether you know somebody who's graduating from high school or college. This is just a really great card. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. We will see you again soon. Bye-bye.